Cinema Worms.
Discussing everything from Grima Wormtongue to the Shy Halib. Okay, so we're also going to be talking about The End of Oak Street, which is a American science fiction survival film. I say with a question in my voice because I'm not totally sure. Written, co-produced, and directed by David Robert Mitchell, who is best known for 2014's It Follows. Did you know there's going to be a sequel called We Follow or
We
something?
follow, they
Yeah,
follow.
they follow. I think. It's apparently filming this year,
Very
so it
exciting.
may have
I do
started
know
already.
that.
Yeah. I have heard the word on the street. Now, The End of Oak Street stars Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, Maisie Stella, and Christian Convery as the typical suburban Platt family. They're all undergoing their own stresses and problems. So, a marriage rift, a bit of casual bullying, which results in quite serious injury, and extremely subtle queerness, to name but a few of their problems. There are more than that. This family's going through it. But all of those issues fade when one night in 1982, the entire neighborhood of like a few streets, it's like a round kind of area, it just gets sort of picked up and plonked through time and space to end up in the prehistoric past. If we are being more precise, and you know I like to be, I'm gonna say this is the Cretaceous. I couldn't find anything actually confirming that, but there were stegosaurs. So, you know what that means, right?
For science.
You know what this means. Uh, it is my bag, baby. It's dinosaurs. And also for the botanists among us, Cretaceous flora, briefly, which might be of some interest to you if you were interested in that at all. Now, Dam Hathaway is doing her best here, and her best is always stunning. But even she can't save this film from veering between just genuinely being not very good and extremely cheesy at times. Ewan McGregor is noticeably dead behind the eyes in this film. Was he okay? Did he have a headache? Did he not want to be there? I'm not sure, but he's checked out. He's fully checked out. He's left the hotel. He's probably left the city. He's on his flight home. He's gone. The children are sort of doing their best, but they're not given a lot to work with. The dialogue in particular is wince inducing. It's stilted. It's incredibly obvious to the point where I just sighed and slunk further in my seat. And there is a dog called Starbug. Now, is it named after the first mate from Moby Dick? Probably not. Is it named after the original male Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica? Probably, because I think that first came out in 70 and this is in 1982. The dog appears to be at times CGI along with the dinosaurs, which is not a good thing. The plot has holes big enough to throw all of the dinosaurs into. It makes no sense at all. There are times when the audience was laughing hysterically when, and I can promise this, the filmmaker did not intend it to be funny. Bad choices are made. People get eaten. Sometimes you will kind of find yourself rooting for the carnivores. It is what it is. It's not Death of a Unicorn, but it's closer to it than I would have liked for a film like this. So, thoughts?
Yeah, Anne Hathaway, stunning. We love her.
Damn, Hathaway.
So you said she was showing up?
When does she not? Like, even in something like this, she's like, I'm gonna give an Oscar-worthy performance. You better believe that I am, like, out of breath and nearly eaten by a dinosaur. You're gonna believe it. And I was like, yeah, I do, Anne. I do.
She was terrified.
Yeah, I fully believe it. And you know what? It sort of doesn't help because it makes everybody else look a lot worse by comparison. That's not her fault. You know, she just can't help being that good.
Yeah.
Now, the CGI, I've seen some reviews talking about how the dinosaurs were really scary. And to that, I ask, did you watch the same film that I did? Because no, what the hell? There were a couple of moments that were a little bit that may have raised my heart rate very slightly, but I just, oh my god, my kingdom for Jurassic Park. You know, you know my rant. I'm not gonna go on my rant again, but it doesn't work because we don't have enough stakes. And there is something that happens in this film that would have given it a stake, but they wouldn't stick with it, and that's really irritating. So I'm not gonna spoiler it, but it really annoyed me. Now, maybe the most fun thing about this film is some of the names used for the songs on the soundtrack. The titles include things like Let Sleeping Dogs Library, No More Mr. Nice Geyser. There's a geyser at one point, it's whatever. And The Starbucks Stops Here. And okay, composer, you're having a lot of fun with this, and good for you, because I don't know who else was having fun with this. Maybe not the actors, certainly not the audience that I was with at the time. Um, I I tried to convince you to go see this with me. You were right to stay home. I completely admit that now. It was not a good film.
I didn't anticipate it, but
Mm.
I was right. Yay!
I mean, is there anything specific you would like to know?
No.
Ah, okay. It's just
I love getting your thoughts though.
Mhm.
You know, I guess like is the you know, sure, like what are they, what did you think they were aiming for in terms of like comps and whatnot? But I mean, I don't really
You know,
care.
that's a good question. I kind of thought, I think when I came home, I said to you, I wonder if it was made, if it was an adaptation of a like adaptation of a book, because it felt like there was a lot missing, and I looked it up and it's not. It's just but the thing is, it's kind of an interesting idea. There's a suggestion online that it is linked potentially to the Cloverfield franchise, which I thought was interesting. And if you see this film, you may understand why, but it seems to me to be a very tenuous link. With that even said, it just felt like some of the things that they could have done, they didn't do. It just didn't quite work in the way that you want it to. If you're going to do something like this, it either needs to be like sort of more family friendly in a way. I found it quite gory, and that's, I don't have a problem with that. But for the rating, I found that very surprising, because I was like, oh man, there's like there, and I will give this one spoiler, because dinosaurs are eating people, and they're eating people on screen, right? Sometimes they're a little bit in the distance, but they are. There is one point where I'm pretty sure one of the dinosaurs just like bites somebody's arm off and throws it around, and I thought, okay, I mean, the way that it was done, depicted, was just a little bit more gory than I had expected, and I was thinking, who is this for? I'm just really confused about your target audience. I think they wanted to go for a nice blockbuster. It's getting like decent reviews. I just don't agree with them. But then that is always my bugaboo about this kind of like a dinosaur film or like a Death of the Unicorn. If you're gonna do something like this, please do it well. Set up the stakes so that we genuinely believe them. We're carried along like with the conceit of the world, and if your characters are going to make really stupid decisions, can they at least be made in character? There were characters doing things that were immediately opposite to kind of how they'd been set up. It was very irritating. Oh, and Anne Hathaway is a writer, did you know? Because there's going to be someone has to be a writer in one of these things.
She's going to be a writer in another film that's called Verity.
Verity, that's a Colleen Hoover one.
Yeah, Colleen, that's it. Anyway,
Anne Hathaway's churning them out at the moment. She's like in 5 films this year. Damn, Hathaway.
I know.
And another baby. You're doing it all. Never let them take things from you. They can never make me hate you, Anne Hathaway. Okay, so another film that I saw and you didn't. Toy Story 5. Wow, you so missed out. No, you didn't really. It was fine.
I refused to go because I hadn't seen Toy Story 4.
You did. I believe you said something like, "But I've missed the lore." I don't think you're missing that much of the lore. That couldn't have been gathered on Wikipedia very swiftly. Okay, so Toy Story 5. Are you amazed to find out it's the 5th installment in the franchise?
No way.
Yeah, who'd have seen that coming? The first 4 in the franchise center around Woody, the cowboy doll, who is voiced by Tom Hanks. He's very lovable. This one features more of Jessie, the cowgirl doll, who I think first appeared in Toy Story 3. She basically takes center stage here and becomes like the main character. Woody is off doing his own thing. So we're going to be talking about her. Now, she's voiced by Joan Cusack, and during Toy Story 5, she belongs to a little girl called Bonnie. Bonnie is pretty shy, and she has trouble making friends, so her parents are kind of struggling with that, because she enjoys playing, she's very creative, she plays with her dolls, but she's struggling to make any connections with other kids. She sees out the neighbor kids, they'll say hi to her, and then she's like, hides behind a tree or something. She's just very awkward. So her parents decide they're going to get her a tablet, right? So they get her like the sort of low-key iPad looking thing, looks like a frog, and it's called LilyPad, Lily for short. And Bonnie finds other girls who have similar tablets, and she's like, great, I can finally have friends, right? But these girls prefer to do everything on their screens. They're not really interested in playing with toys or being creative in the outside world. They just want to do these electronic games on the tablet. So you kind of see Bonnie just getting slowly sucked into screen-based stuff and all her original creativity being kind of drained out of her. And so the original cast is pretty much back for this. You know, as I said, we've got Tom Hanks voicing Woody, his frenemy, Buzz Lightyear, voiced by Tim Allen. Now, I don't remember if you saw Toy Story 3, did you?
Yeah.
So the one with where Kelsey Grammer plays Prospector Pete.
I mean, I don't remember. It's been quite a while.
Okay, but do you know, or is this a spoiler, that Buzz Lightyear is in love with Jessie, the cowboy girl?
Yes.
Okay, so they've been together for quite a while, and they're in some sort of relationship, and he, in this film, has decided he wants to propose to her, because that's a completely normal thing for a toy to want to do. And so that provides kind of the B-plot of him trying to figure out, you know, what is his kind of place in her world and her life, and whether he's... I don't think he thinks he's not good enough for her, but he's sort of trying to figure out how to best propose and how to kind of do it in a way that will impress her, while she's basically having a complete mental breakdown and existential crisis over this child. He's supportive, but he's also very much wrapped up in his own thing. And Woody is kind of back occasionally, but like not really. It's mostly kind of this nemesis thing with the Lily the iPad going on between her and Jessie. So it's an interesting take. It's a much more modern take, tech versus old school toys. What do you want to know, if anything, about this one?
I mean, how do you feel like it stands up against the other Toy Stories?
I really think they should have ended at 3, to be honest. I really enjoyed the third one, and I saw 4 in the cinemas, and I remember thinking, it's kind of jumped the shark a little bit. Like, I saw it and it was fine. It just doesn't push the same buttons, and I think the original trilogy does. Even as an adult, it still hits a really, like, nostalgic, emotional spot. These ones, I mean, we don't have kids. It's hard to say. Maybe, like, if we had kids, we would take them to see it, and maybe they would be really into it or not. It's sort of the original excitement was that when you are not around, your toys become sentient, right? It's much less exciting or fun to watch an iPad become sentient when you're not around, because we don't trust them. They're surveillance tools. Like, we don't trust them anyway. We think they're, you know, they're already there spying on us in a weird way. And so it just doesn't, it feels much less kind of fun and wholesome and cute as a premise. It just feels creepy and surveillance-y. It's very panopticon.
Or is it a reflection of, I mean, is that a reflection then of reality?
I mean, that maybe that's why it is. It obviously is responding to real world things. Like, a lot of kids nowadays do not play with toys as much. They want their screens straight away. They want their iPads or their kid tablet or their whatever, and their TV has been kind of geared to be changing every 3 seconds in bright colors just to keep their eyes on the screen. So, I mean, you're right, it does reflect reality, but that doesn't mean that I want to see that reality reflected in my sentient toy film. I go there for escapism and wholesome cuteness. I don't want to be reminded that the real world is a horrible Black Mirror place.
Yeah.
But, you know, we do have a happy ending in this film, and it's pretty cute. There were a couple of kind of fun moments. I wouldn't say laugh out loud funny, but it was a kind of a fun time. I don't really care about it, and I probably wouldn't watch it again.
Okay. Well, if I have the time, I might check it out. I totally have the time, if I feel so inclined or bothered. But I'm glad you saw it for the pod.
For the pod.
Thank you for your thoughts.
I do it for the pod
and for the summary.
And for a fan.
Oh.
Singular.
I think we
Hi,
have...
fan.
I think we have 3 fans.
Oh, it's 3. My gosh, how we've grown. We're so famous now.
Yeah, so let us know what your thoughts on Toy Story 5 are.